Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you? There we go. We're off. Look at us.
Yay.
I think we may have had some music there, which was exciting. But what
Of course.
we're really. I think we need to get a theme tune. I do. I really do.
Mm.
Uh,
Something that has like a like a
oh,
Charleston
I like
speakeasy vibe,
that.
right? Southern,
Yes.
Savannah, Charleston, speakeasy. Yeah, I feel
Comment
like we
down
can find that.
below is what the podcasters say if you can think of a good a good theme tune for the speakeasy. I
Yeah,
can
let
think
us
of a
know.
few.
Let us
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle,
know.
wiggle. Anyway, shall we do the introduction? Because people will obviously not. They won't know what they're doing if we don't introduce ourselves.
Let's do it.
Welcome. Thanks. All right. Well, here we go. Welcome to Spark Squared Speakeasy, the leadership conversation you weren't meant to overhear. No slides, no scripts, no corporate nonsense. This is the Smart Pub Chat meets. This is Smart Pub Chat meeting leadership therapy. This is why Cassandra should do the introductions, where we talk about what leadership actually looks like when things get uncomfortable, messy, or real.
Mhm.
I'm Ewan for the Bright Spark Group, and I'm here with the fabulous, inimitable Cassandra Sparks. So pull up a chair, grab your drink of choice, whatever makes you happy, and let's get into it. All right, Cassandra, you ready? I have my coffee. Let's do
Cheers.
this. The speakeasy doors, ladies and gentlemen, this fabulous Friday are open.
Yay! Well,
How you doing,
I'm
Cassandra
so
Sparks?
good. I'm so good. Happy Friday, Ewan.
Oh, thank you. Happy Friday
I
to you too, my
know.
friend. How's your
Thank you.
week
Thank
been?
you. Great. This is the best part of it. I'm so happy to see you.
Oh, I'm always happy to see you, my friend. It's so good to see your radiant face. I was telling Cassandra before the session we were recording today that her hair looks fabulous, and if you agree, then like this video. My hair, however, looks like it always does, where I get out the shower and just hope for the best,
Which is
much like
also
most of my leadership
fabulous.
career.
Which is also fabulous. Thank you very
Thanks so
much.
much. Was not fishing for a compliment, but thank you nonetheless.
Happy to help. Well,
All
folks,
right, so last.
every
Oh,
yes, yeah, every week we present a Friday leadership challenge. So let's start this chat by revisiting that challenge. It was
yeah,
pretty
fantastic.
simple. We suggested to practice gratitude by thanking at least one person once a day to their face of something that they did that was wonderful. So I have my example locked and loaded. You want me to go first?
I do. Go for it.
Okay. This week, I had plenty of opportunities to practice gratitude, but the one that sticks out the most is my friend Joe is starting a new podcast called Small Business Sucks.
I
And
love that we are cross promoting our friends'
yes,
podcasts. Love it. Go,
yes, I
Joe. Well
know. Go,
done.
Joe. And Joe's take on small business is so real and so authentic, very much our vibe. And he invited me to be his first guest. We had the most wonderful chat. It was 10 minutes. It's a nice, quick episode about why being a motivational speaker sucks sometimes. And it's funny and it's clever and it's real, and the whole experience was so magical. I just heard the finished version and it is amazing. I can't wait to share it. So I was just blossoming and blooming with gratitude for Joe and gushing on him about, I've been on this more than a handful of podcasts, 2 hands worth of podcasts, and his experience that he cultivated for me was so special. He created space for me to be me, truly me. I laugh like authentically myself. I express as authentically as I have ever felt comfortable to do so. And it's all because of him and his energy and his talent of just being him. So when I shared all that with him, he was, of course, delighted to hear those things. But it was such a truthful thing for me to say of like, this has been a magical experience, and I'm so grateful for him.
I love that. That sounds great. Okay, so we're going to have to drop the link to the podcast down below. So if you want to listen to Joe's podcast, then it's going to be down in the comments, surely, right? We've got to do that.
Surely,
I have to share that,
surely.
share that fun. Love it. Fantastic.
Yes.
Well,
Thank
thank you
you.
for sharing that. Thank you, Joe, for
Yeah,
brightening up our
Joe.
friend Cassandra's week with your fabulous
Mhm.
podcast hosting skills.
That's
Um,
right.
well, I also embraced our challenge many times this week, actually. I got the opportunity to say thank you quite a lot. I think my biggest opportunity to be able to show gratitude has been in a week filled with onboarding new Bright Spark family, which has been phenomenally fun and exciting and just a whole experience as a business owner that I don't know, maybe I just didn't expect to do it, but I did, and it's been just the best. So I want to publicly say thank you to our latest Bright Spark team members, Laura and the fantastic Angelique. You have held it together. And I know I've said thank you to you many times throughout the week, but this is my big thank you to you. It has been an absolute pleasure welcoming you to our family. And I'm so excited to see all the great things that you're about to do for us and do for our clients, because you are wonderful human beings. And I don't know, this is the first week in a long time where I have genuinely got to the end of the day and been like, oh, okay, this is happening. It's going to be great. So
Yes.
genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I'm very thankful for them. And I'm thankful also for our additional team member who's going to be joining us the week after next. So I'm sure I'll be
Oh,
gratituding it out then too. So yes, big thanks to
that's
all of our
so
team. Well,
beautiful.
we've
That's so
started
beautiful.
off our podcast with a very positive little note there. Lots of
Hmm.
gratitude. And we
Indeed.
will finish our podcast with another challenge for you all this week. But
Mhm.
before we do, we're gonna chat a little bit about leadership presence. Kick us off, Cassandra. Why did we decide that we were going to talk about this week?
Well, we recently read an article. One of us found it and then shared it with the other. I don't even remember who at this point in this week. But we found this article about leadership presence, and it got us kind of thinking and percolating. So there's some ideas that we pulled from it, and then we wanted to talk about our own experiences about what does leadership presence even mean? What does it look like? What does it not look like? And so let's talk about that.
Ooh,
So
fantastic.
yeah. I mean, when we think about presence, sometimes we think about who's commanding the room, but not in an authoritarian way.
Hmm.
Because have you ever seen you and someone walk in the room and everyone just like subconsciously sits up straighter?
Right. Yeah. And I've always thought that it's definitely a skill that some leaders possess, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think when we were having a conversation about this, I definitely felt like there must be something to it. What is
Mm-hmm.
it that makes people react in that way? I was intrigued. So tell
Right.
me your thoughts. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, so they're not coming in with like some fanfare. There's no announcement. There's no like a magical music. It's just their presence. For me, when I think about presence, it's when people pay attention before you actually like speak or earn it. So when I think about leaders who have that effect, that kind of X factor, I think of a former supervisor of mine named Rebecca. Rebecca and I worked together in college admissions at a university in upstate New York, and she is, without needing to command the entire room, she's a leader with presence. And the way that she does it is incredibly powerful yet subtle. So Rebecca's someone that makes folks feel completely respected on the team. She respects herself and she respects everyone else. And she actually wants everyone on the team to shine. Some
Love
leaders
that.
aren't comfortable when other folks on the team shine, which is a real shame because, as you know, you're building a team and you want Laura and Angelique and all the folks that are part of your family to be bright stars in the Bright Spark group, right?
Absolutely. I completely
Yeah.
agree. Rebecca sounds fantastic. And I really
Oh,
like that
she
concept.
is.
Yeah, I think that is kind of the secret sauce to it. I always have
Mm-hmm.
conversations when we're either doing executive coaching or I'm doing leadership development with clients, and we talk about power and ego always kind
Mm-hmm.
of being ever cognizant of that as a leader, that power and
Mm-hmm.
ego, it doesn't take long for that to sort of sneak in to your psyche
Mm-hmm.
as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think being able to have devices or tools or whatever it might be, just a moment in your week to check that power and ego meter that's going on in your
Love
little
that.
world is so vital and so important, because leadership presence and being able to have that impact on your team when you walk into the room, or when you get on that call, or when they're not even, when you're not even there. I
Yes.
think that it kind of drills down to how you present yourself, and almost how you check yourself when
It's
you're around
true.
your people, right?
It's
I think
true.
I think that the power and ego thing is definitely something that's hard. You, as a leader, have to almost take a big bite of humble pie sometimes, and realize that sometimes you're
Mm-hmm.
just going to have to accept that your team are better than you at things,
Yeah.
and
And
that's
isn't that
okay,
wonderful? Like,
right?
I think as leaders, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, or we can put pressure on ourselves to have all the answers and know it all.
Mhm.
When in fact, leaning on the team and celebrating individual strengths and saying, you know what, Cassandra, you excel in this area. What do you think
Mhm.
is what makes a team so strong?
Absolutely, yeah. I think that empowerment, is
Mm,
that the word that I'm looking for? Like
that is
making
the
sure,
word. Yes.
right? Making sure that your team feel a sense of empowerment. I think one of the examples that I have is a former leader of mine, Jonathan, who
Mm-hmm.
definitely had that in bucket loads. I mean,
Okay.
the ability to be able to empower your people by small actions, and sometimes just because of his ability to do it so naturally and without really having to force it or make time for it. It just happened naturally for
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, that um he was able to delegate tasks to the right people that he knew were going to either
Yes.
flourish and shine in that task, or it would push them and drive them to develop themselves or develop their skills. And he got
Mm-hmm.
this like just raw natural energy from the team, who wanted to succeed because we wanted to do it for all of us as the collective, rather than
Mm-hmm.
doing it just to impress, or
Mm-hmm.
just to make our boss happy, or just to make sure that they weren't on our back. Jonathan's
Mm-hmm.
ability to be able to get us to do things that pushed us and drove us to succeed was just wonderful, I think.
Mm.
And somebody, again, that has no ego and no desire for anyone to see him as having a sense of power, um, but just naturally good people that you want
Yes.
to work for and work hard for, is like that. Is
Mm-hmm.
that not the sign of a truly good leader, right?
It is. It is. You said a word, you, and that made me very excited. And you said working for the collective. And
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about that for a moment. In my experience, it's easy for us, whether it's in business or in our personal lives, to become individualistic. Um, I think there's been a shift toward that, just on a broader scale. So to
Mhm.
remember that we are all in this together, and when we work together, things happen easier, better, and we do more, is is a really seemingly simple but important reminder.
I couldn't agree more. I think that is something that in this world of immediacy we forget,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yes.
we've constantly got something to distract us,
Yes.
something to pull us away, our attention away from what truly matters and what's really important. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that is a leadership skill, right? If we go back just for a second to the article that we were reading this week,
Yes.
and the title of the article, I think, is good to share with everybody. Is the
Please.
title was "That Leader Who Walks In and the Room Fixes Its Posture." That leader that
Mm-hmm.
walks in and the room fixes its posture. I think my biggest challenge in leadership was making sure that it wasn't about what happened when I was there, but more what happened when I was not there, and making sure that I
Mm.
set my team up for success, so that even when I wasn't there, we were still delivering and executing on the same high quality, whatever it might be that we were working on, project, task, the piece of communication, whatever it might have been, training, delivery. But in order for that to happen, we have to make sure that every single person in the room, when I'm not there, knows exactly what our collective purpose is. Because if
Mm-hmm.
we all understand and are truly bought into that collective purpose, whether that is just delivering the best quality training we possibly can for our clients, or whether that's making sure that the projects are completed on deadline, or making sure that we have a super high NPS score or guest satisfaction score in the front desk.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody's bought into that, the immediacy of the modern world and the distractions that come from being in 2026 shouldn't deviate us too much from that collective mission, that collective goal, whether I'm there or not as the leader, right? But I think a lot of leaders themselves as human beings, because leaders are human beings too,
Mm-hmm.
do get distracted by the newest shiny thing, or the latest project, or their drive for power and ego, and they forget that it's not about what happens when you're there and what you can be able to in the moment celebrate and kind of
Mm.
pin the success of it on yourself, but it's really what happens when you're not there that's important. I think that's truly what leadership presence is. Maybe it's not leadership presence, maybe it's leadership in presence.
And that, Ewan, is why you are a tremendous leader. I think it's time for our catchphrase. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I am so
Can
ready.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah! I love it. Oh my goodness. I did not realize that was the catchphrase, but we are rolling with it. I think I did a Yas Queen to you at some point this week on
You
a voice
did.
memo.
You
And
did.
as
Also
soon
love
as I
that
did
one, by
it,
the way.
thank you very much. I don't think
Uh-huh.
that'll be a catchphrase, but as soon as I did it, I heard my husband in the other room going, "Did you just Yas Queen someone on a message?" So yeah, there you go.
I
We
I
are
love
we're
a
all
yes
about the
queen.
catchphrase.
Yeah, I love a yes queen. So
Okay, well, moving on.
this is so great. Yeah, this is great. I love this so much. So what makes that happen? What makes this leadership? I'm loving this leadership in presence. It's not about volume. It's not about having height. It's not having that TED Talk voice. So what is it?
Yeah, I think that is the eternal question that every leader should be asking themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that the answer is the same. And this could be just me. I'm really keen to hear what your thoughts are on this, but I don't think the answer is the same for everybody. I think that it is about your personality, it's about your
Mm-hmm.
natural behavioral preferences, it's about a lot of things, right? I think for
Mm-hmm.
every leader, it could be something different. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a talker, as you can imagine. And I think for me, in my leadership journey, I had to learn that leadership presence was not about being the loudest voice or the
Mm-hmm.
person who had the right word to say at the right time all the time. But
Mm-hmm.
leadership presence sometimes for me was about shutting up and just letting my
Mm-hmm.
team talk and
Yes.
share and get it out. So I don't know.
Yes.
What about you? How do you feel about that?
Everything you just said, and I'm going to stack on top of it, having a calm energy about about yourself as a leader can be very powerful, and not necessarily rushing through every sentence or thought or project even, because really what that says to me is we're all going to get it done.
Mhm.
We don't have this, even though if there is a deadline, right? There's always deadlines. Even though there's a deadline, we could still make it happen. And while we're working through it, making sure that people feel seen, literally seen, giving folks eye contact, um, and not being afraid. Do you know this trick? This is one of my favorite things. Some people hate eye contact, and they feel really uncomfortable about it. So
I
how I
suddenly just become really conscious about where my eyes are on the camera.
I know. What I coach folks is if that speaks to you and you're like, oh, giving eye contact really makes me anxious. Look at someone right here. So in between the eyes and directly above, kind of like the brows. If you look at someone in that spot and try it in real life, the person you're speaking with will absolutely think that you're giving them strong eye contact, and it takes the pressure off of you as the eye contact giver. So you're not like giving them laser beam focus where you're like, hi. Give it a whirl.
I
Let
love
me know
that.
what you think.
I am good. That is great. That's a sub challenge, everybody, for this
There you
week,
go.
is to look people in the brow.
Look, people,
I
yeah, right here.
right in the center of the brow. Get right in there.
Hmm. That's
I
right.
love that. That's a great trick. And do you know what? It's funny because there are times in my life, and I do a lot of talking to a lot of people, as you can imagine,
Yes.
where I do think, am I staring? I feel like I'm staring at them, and then you start, but then you start doing that shifty eye thing where you're like, okay, I'm gonna
Right.
look over here. Oh no, that's weird. So I'm gonna look. No, that's so weird. And then you look back at them. They're like, oh no, they're looking at me. It's really hard being a human.
Oh, you're right.
Tough.
It
I love
is.
that. Thank you for the tip. Very nice. Well, I like that. I think that there's a lot of other skills and things that
Hmm.
we need to kind of learn as leaders, especially when we're starting out in our leadership career. How we show that presence without it being overbearing or
Hmm.
being dominant, and putting people off or turning people off. So
Hmm.
I think one of the things that I really, so shutting up is a big problem for me, as you can tell. But I think asking the right questions and not always
Mm.
having the answers, right? Being secure
Hmm.
enough to admit that that is the case, that we don't have all the answers all the time as leaders. And I think that it almost is a byproduct of that behavior of not knowing the
Hmm.
answers, because you then
Hmm.
have the ability to be able to give other people a voice, and you have the ability to be able to hear perspectives that maybe are not your own. If we did a little bit more of that in the world, I think that it would be a happier, rosier place sometimes. Like just taking a moment to sit and
Yes.
hear the other side, and know that in that conversation you may not necessarily agree, but at least you can understand. And
Mm.
it is that list as a leader, showing up and being present enough to take a moment to step back and just understand.
Mm.
That's it. You don't need to correct, or you don't need to force your opinion down your team's throat. Just
Hmm.
understand for a minute, and then
Yes.
as a leader, guide and lead and redirect if required.
Hmm.
And I think that that is
Hmm.
a tremendous skill for leadership presence, is not always having the answer.
Absolutely. And what makes me think about sitting with silence and being comfortable with that, it's silence is kind of inherently uncomfortable.
Mm.
And when we can get comfortable sitting in silence, knowing that as a leader, you don't have to fill every pause,
Mm.
allowing the people on your team to take up space and share their thoughts, I think some of that fear can come from imposter syndrome, where we're like, oh gosh, I really don't know. I don't know all the answers. And that makes me feel small or sad or whatever the adjective is.
Mhm.
And if we can come to terms with the fact that we are authentic human beings that make mistakes all day long, whether we mean to or not, it's just part of the human experience. If we can come to terms with that and come to terms with the fact that it's okay not to have the answers as a leader,
Yeah.
then I think it's being really secure. It almost counteracts and counter. It's like the antidote to imposter syndrome, to
Yeah.
say it's okay that I don't have the answers, leaning on other people, and then being secure in that can kind of take some of that imposter syndrome away.
Right.
What a
Absolutely.
what a relief that is. Hmm.
Huge weight off your shoulder. I think once you've done it like two or three times and you realize the positive impact that it has, you start to become, it's like, it's a no-brainer, right? It's
Mm-hmm,
just,
mm-hmm.
everybody should be doing it. I really enjoy watching that journey for the leaders that we take through our Own the Room Tell the Story program. I find it really wonderful to watch them go from, when we start off really over talking and oversharing, and the story goes in 75 million directions, but getting them just to sit with that for a moment and think,
Yes.
where am I trying to go? What's the message I'm trying to deliver? What are the important points that people need to hear? And then how can I make that as engaging as I possibly can, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's just a really amazing journey. I love in our sessions watching people do that and go through that journey, whether that's a young leader or whether that's somebody in the C-suite,
Yes.
executive, when we do it with retreats. I just think that there's this skill in silence that so
Mm,
many people don't have, right? I think it's a hell yeah moment. No, I'm joking.
it
So
is.
I think that skill in silence is so vital to leadership, especially in such a loud, noisy, brash, gregarious leadership environment that most people work within, or at least most people are kind of forced into. So I think that that's something that is really vitally important, and one of the many ingredients in the secret sauce that is leadership presence, right?
Absolutely. Oh, that was so beautiful. And you know, we talk about that in our program that we offer for folks and leaders. And I just think that's such a key component. And I love the way you said it. Can you say that just one more time? Because I just love it.
No, because I can't remember what I said, and that's a key, that's a common trait that I have. But I'll watch the recording back later. There's something in silence.
There's, would you say there's power in silence?
There's power in silence. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? There's right. Anyway, we'll move on, and it'll come to
Yeah,
us. I'm so
it's fine.
see. This is where recording live streams is so vitally important. Not for you out there, audience,
That's
for
right.
us,
That's
because
right.
this is where dreams are made, and it's where ideas are forgotten. Apparently,
They hit us like like a ton of bricks in the best way, and
oh
then we're like,
god.
"Oh wait, what was that exact word
I'm gonna start. So we now learn. Okay, episode 3. The learning is have a notepad in front of us. Okay, that's it.
again?"
Write down our good ideas.
Amazing.
Well, this has been great. So, what? Let's just
Hmm.
recap very quickly whilst we try to
Let's.
remember
Yes.
the silence thing. What if you could choose one thing to
Hmm.
make somebody have better presence tomorrow as a leader? What would be the thing that you would tell them?
Oh, that's such a good question. Lean into who you are, lean into your strengths, and take an assessment of where you need to grow. And know that those areas of growth are not weaknesses. Oh, no, no. Those areas of growth show confidence, show desire to improve, show leadership presence. Because when a leader grows, the whole team can grow as well.
I love that. Thank you for sharing it. Appreciate
What
that.
about you? What do you think?
Um, Shut up.
Yeah,
Not to you. I
yeah,
would say that's my
yes.
number one thing. I would say just shut up. Stop talking for a minute. Let's
Hmm.
let's listen to understand and
Hmm.
remember that there is power in silence.
Yes,
Was that it? Was
absolutely.
it power in
That
silence? I'm pretty
I
sure it was
think
power in
I like
silence. I
it.
think it was
Power and
that.
silence. Yeah, that's what it's going to be now. I love it.
Yeah, it is now until we
Yeah.
watch the recording back. Well, thank you so much. I think this has been a great chat. And I think the leadership presence is something that we are always talking about with our clients, especially when we're
Hmm.
delivering the workshop
Yes.
on the room, tell your story. And if anybody would like to know more about what we do with our clients in that program, it is all about leadership presence. It's all about presentation skills. It's all about storytelling. And of course, Cassandra Sparks is there. So it's all about owning your boldness journey, being bold,
That's right.
bringing that
Be
boldness out in you.
bold and authentic. Those are the strongest leaders. Folks who
Absolutely.
can embrace the boldness without being feeling like they're the superhero, right? Because I
Right.
think a great leader can share that power, share that the responsibility
Hmm.
whenever
Yeah.
they can.
Fantastic.
Because yeah, yeah. So I think if you want better presence tomorrow, you could talk 10% slower because we tend to get really, when you get
Yeah.
excited, we tend to talk fast. Use pauses as powerful moments. Because what happens when we pause is people tend to lean in and take a moment and like pay attention. And so you've gathered everyone's energy back and their attention back when you can use pauses powerfully.
It's the Rocky Horror effect, right?
What's that?
Oh, you know the Rocky Horror Picture Show, right? Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Tell folks that might not know.
You know the song. You know the song Anticipation.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Perfect example.
perfect example. Good, fantastic. And and if anyone would like me to sing at them, then I can do it, and I don't charge very much for that experience. So feel free to reach out, DM us. It's a little side hustle I got going on. Might start Cameo. There you go. All right, we are about to close our speakeasy doors then for the week. But before you go, here is our Friday Courage Challenge. This week, we're going to challenge you to think about something that you can do to shift your presence as a leader. It could be small. It could make you feel or appeal to your team more, be more credible. No posting, no performing, just one brave move that you make because you're leading on purpose. Maybe even, Cassandra, they could just shut up.
That could be it. Absolutely.
Maybe just stop talking maybe one meeting and just listen and see what happens. Maybe that might be the way that you do your challenge this week. Anyway, your Friday Courage Challenge, that's what it is. Find a way to shift your presence. If this conversation has sparked something for you, share it with someone who needs a seat at our Speakeasy table. We will see you back here next Friday. Same Speakeasy, same fabulous sparks.
Yay.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend.
Yes.
Bye,
Bye,
Cassandra.
Bye, Ewan.